You've probably seen the M3 review, the M3 teaser. And now we're going to start a series because I am selling the M3. What is going on, guys? Harley here. Welcome back to another episode of Mixed Reviews. All right, come here. Come here. Come closer. Okay, so we've got a little bit of a story to tell. But first, I'm gonna ask you to do one thing. And let's give the video a thumbs up if you have not already. What are you doing? Welcome back to another episode of Mixed Reviews. We got a little bit of a story to tell. So you've probably seen the M3 review, the M3 teaser. And now we're going to start a series because I am selling the M3. Every dog has its day. Every rose has its thorn. And honestly, I normally keep cars about 6 months, and so this is not off-brand for me. It's relatively on-brand. But there's a few reasons why. There's a few reasons why I'm going to sell it. There's nothing wrong with the car. I absolutely love the car. It's a great car. But let's hop back into it. Let's take it back from the beginning. Let's talk through why I got the car, what made me want to buy that car, and then why I'm selling it. So stay tuned. We're going to hop into it right now. So I decided that I wanted an M3 probably about a year ago. I've always wanted one, but I decided I was actually going to buy one. And I was looking for an E92. I was looking for a 2011 and a half or newer. I wanted a carbon fiber roof. I wanted the DCT transmission. I really wanted a fox red interior, and I wanted a black or white exterior. And I wanted to pay a fair purchase price. I didn't want to pay the inflated value. I wanted to spend anywhere between 25 to 30 on the car, around 65,000 miles, and I wanted either a good maintenance history or some major services done, because they can be problematic. And so I spent 6 months looking for this car. I was on Craigslist, I was on Facebook Marketplace. Every single day I was looking for this car, and I found 2 of them, and they both did not go through. I found one, and I was gonna get it. The dude pretended he had COVID so that way he couldn't meet up with me, and he ended up wanting to keep the car because of the new M3. He wasn't a fan of the new model, and so he wanted to keep his old one. He led me on for way too long, ended up telling me he got COVID, all these things. I wanted to come up and get the car. He just never followed through, got really sketchy, and then told me he didn't want to sell it. So that was Pretty frustrating because I thought I found it and he bailed. The second car, perfect car, white, carbon fiber roof, red interior, DCT, like 55,000 miles in California. I was going to fly down to California to pick it up. The dude just never got back to me. He literally just stopped responding. He said he was selling it, but he had a buddy who was going to buy it. All this crap. So that didn't end up going through either. And so I spent 6 months looking for this perfect car. I was looking at cars on the East Coast. I was going to fly across the country and drive back. My budget slowly started increasing. I just couldn't find the car I wanted. And I was spending way too much time on my phone looking for this car. It was starting to consume my day. I don't know if anybody's like me, where you're looking for something and you just don't stop, because the way these deals come about, if it pops up and you don't hop on it, you miss it. And then you just feel like you lost out. And so I was spending way too much time on social media, trying to find like Facebook Marketplace, trying to find this car, Craigslist, OfferUp, you name it, Auto Trader, Cars.com. I had subscriptions, I had alerts, I had everything set up. And then one day I went on Facebook Marketplace and it was posted up for 23 minutes. It was this E46 M3 original owner, slick top, 6-speed, 2003, 66,000 miles. And I was like, huh, that's a clean car. It has all the characteristics that I wanted, just in the older generation, and it was at a price that I thought was really competitive. So I reached out to the guy. He said yes, it's still available. I asked him a couple questions, and then he stopped responding and he totally took the ad down. And I was like, weird, he must have sold it, like must not have gone through. He reaches back out to me the next day and says, hey, I feel like I underpriced the car. I didn't realize how much they were selling for. I'll sell it to you for this amount. If you want it, I have 5 other people lined up. The car was only posted for about an hour. So I said, okay, can I come check out the car before I agree to it? So I went down and checked out the car. And mind you, the price he offered me was still below the market value and what these cars were selling for. And so I felt like it was a good buy regardless. I felt like if I bought this car, I could drive it for 6 months. I could have it as like a side vehicle or a weekend car. And I wouldn't be at a loss at all. So I went down, checked it out, drove smooth. It had every single maintenance record ever, both sets of keys, the original check. The dude that purchased it paid cash for it. That check, the copy of it, was in the file of papers. So I just felt really good about getting this car. It felt like a good car to buy. You know, when you get in that car, it just starts right up, feels solid. So I felt like I was onto something. I purchased the car, paid cash for it, and I took it home. And I knew it was going to need a couple things, but I wasn't sure how long I was going to keep the car. Drove it for a handful of months. Ended up fixing a couple things that just happened with age. It had an oil change in about 3 years. That's just how little the original owner was driving it. And the Vanos ended up going out. So that was a $1,700 service. The way I went ahead and fixed everything. I had a local indie shop here in the Portland, Oregon area fix it. They fixed it up. They did the entire Vano service. And so I had this car in incredible condition now, ready to drive, ready to have a lot of fun, a lot of good times. But the whole time I'm driving it, I just get this feeling like the more I drive this car, the less it's getting in value, right? It's one of those cars that you just keep in a garage and it goes up and up in value, or you can drive it, have a good time, and then it goes down in value. But because it's not the car that I really wanted, and I kind of bought it because I could potentially sell it and make money off of it, I've been conflicted. And every time I drive it, I have fun, but at the same time I'm like, oh man, I'm kind of losing money on what I could be selling it for. So for those reasons, and because of the fact that it's like my 13th car, I'm not overly emotionally attached to it. I think it is time to sell the M3. We're going to take you guys along for the journey. We're going to show you the prepping, the photo shoot, the posting. We're going to post it in a few different sources, the selling, the transaction, and then potentially whatever I buy next. Hopefully it's an E92 M3. Maybe it's an F80. Who knows? But that is to come. First and foremost, we need to get it sold. And so that is what we're going to be doing. So there's going to be a little M3 series selling my E46 M3. So make sure that you guys subscribe because you're not going to want to miss it. I'm curious to see how much it sells for. Once it sells, I'll tell you guys how much I paid for it everything I put into it and then what I ended up making off of it. And so you're not going to want to miss that, because I think it's going to be a pretty good investment at the end of the day. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stick along for the journey. Until next time, guys. Peace.